Happy Sunday, you all. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the newcomers. If you don't already know, my name is Trinise L. Jackson. Those who know. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the post notification bell so that you all will be in the know when I upload new content. If you like what you hear, if it resonates, if you are vibing with the content, you don't necessarily have to vibe with me, but if you are vibing with the content, give me a thumbs up if you choose to. If you are not vibing with the content, if it does not resonate, then remain true to yourself and do not give me a thumbs up. That's one thing I always tell you guys, to remain true to yourself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Because if you do not remain true to you, no one else will. As I often say, always say, there are a few people who have good hearts and a good spirit that will still remain true to you. But it's very important, it's imperative that you stay true to yourself. Okay? So, today I am going to be talking about people who are afraid of success, people who fear achievement. Now, I know that sounds a bit strange. It goes against the grain. That doesn't make sense. Who on this earth is afraid of achievement? I'll get into that. So a few weeks back, or maybe even a month ago, I uploaded a video here on YouTube talking about people in the comfort zone and how people become very complacent at the level of mediocrity, and how people, it's their habit, it's what they know, it's what they're used to, it's what happened when they were kids. They got used to struggling, their parents struggling, now they're struggling, and they just accept that in life. One thing I do want to say about that is I don't want anybody to ever believe or think that I'm being judgmental. If you are okay at that level of comfortability, then so be it. Who am I to judge? I would never judge. Who am I to speak against that? People have to live their life for them, not for me. At the end of the day, as I often say, you have to live with your own life decisions. Do not live with other people's decisions that they made for your life, right? And then about 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, I posted a video, not here on YouTube, but I posted a video on Facebook and Instagram, and I was talking about people who are living in a dark place. I didn't say it in all these words, but people have taken a full residency in their dark place, paying a mortgage, paying a rent, eating dinner, sitting back, not even so much relaxing, because when you're in a dark place, there's no peace there. And if there's no peace, there's no joy. So most people can't relax when they don't have peace of mind. But some of us are paying PSC&G, we're paying Con Ed, whoever the utility company is that we pay to keep our lights on, we're still living in a dark place. No balance overdue, paid in full, on time, but yet we're still living in a dark place. Now understand, I don't mean the physical illumination of lights. I'm simply talking about your spirit being in a dark place, your mind being in a dark place, looking for your harvest in a dark place, looking for your peace, looking for passion, looking for joy in a dark place. And I told my people on Facebook and Instagram, and you guys bear with me, because some people that follow me on YouTube don't follow me on Facebook and Instagram. So this is new to them, old to you, but just bear with me for a second. I said that some people are looking for their passion, their harvest. They're looking for joy and peace in a dark place. But you're not going to find it in the dark. I gave the analogy of dropping something in the dark and trying to find it, and you can't find it. So eventually you have to get up, turn on the light, and find what you're looking for. It's the same thing in your dark place in life. You have to come out of darkness into his marvelous light. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about people who are fearing achievement. And it does sound weird, because most times you hear people are in fear of failure. But when God dropped that in my spirit, I didn't understand it. And I said, well, God, what do you mean people are fearing achievement? Who fears making a lot of money? Who fears building a house from the ground? Who fears traveling the world? Who fears being able to pay their bills with leftovers? Who fears leaving behind generational wealth? I don't get it. I don't understand it. So you all probably are saying, well, are you sure the true and living God gave you this message for us? Because I don't get it either. God said it has nothing to do with your material possessions. People are in fear of how people that's in their circle family members, friends, neighbors, co-workers are going to perceive them. They feel like they're going to start losing people if they get to a level in life, because people are going to say now they think they're better than me. Who do that person think they are? They ain't that smart. How did they get this and how did they get that? So a lot of people, the way God shared it with me, is in fear of losing people. Some people will hide their success. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to sit here and brag about what God has given you. I mean, I know you work for it, but he allowed it. He gave you the know-how. He gave you the gifts. He gave you the knowledge, the wisdom. You went to school. You got a higher education. All those things count. But without God approving it, it wouldn't happen. So there are people who are actually afraid to move up the ladder in life because of fear of losing people in your circle. So I said, now I don't want you all to ever think that when I make these messages, or this particular message, it's about me, it's particular to me. In a sense it is. And I said, God, you know, I always tell the people, this is not about me. This is about you, God, and it's about the people. It's about what I can do to help others get to the next level in life. And I feel that it's important that I make this little side note to those who, I said it in my last video on the dangers of a comfort zone, that people who personally know me, or people that know me on a personal level, is probably sitting here saying, well, what does she have that she didn't have a year ago? Or what has changed so much in her life that she could speak a word into my life? There are levels to everything you do in life. So, you know, God has me on this path. I'm on my way. So I can speak this into your life because he gave it to me to give it to you all. If he does not give it to me, I cannot give it to you all. So there are people who are actually afraid of showing others what God gave them, what their blessings are. Now, there could be a few folds to that. Some people just humble people. You don't need to know what I have in my life. Some people are just very private. Like, what I have is for me to know. Is that's it. And then there's people that fear that people might start coming out the woodworks and saying, well, where's my blessing? Can you loan me some money? And can you do this for me? And can you do, and that's fine. People could, at the end of the day, people make their own decisions, and people have their own reasoning for being the way that they are. You have to respect it and you have to accept it, period. And I told someone that the other day, that you have to respect people's journey. I can't make a person not do something they don't want to do. I can only guide them, and only but for so long. Because if you keep speaking the same things over and over into a person's life and they're not taking heed, then I can no longer cast my pearls before them, right? So I said to God, I said, well, God, like, what do you mean? The people that's close to you and near and dear to your heart, and people who are friends who became family members. You have some coworkers who have become your family members, and your neighbors who you share dinner with at times, and you go over to their houses for celebrations and they come to your house for celebration. These people have now become a part of your intimate circle. They become family-like. And you have people who you grew up with as kids, and in the sandbox, and who you went to school with, and who you went to high school with, and you become very close to them. What do you mean, God, that I don't want to share this with them? What do you mean that I can't, I'm afraid to show them these things? I'm not leaving them behind. The people who was there for me, I'm taking them with me. And God said, no, you can't take everybody with you. I said, God, but what are you talking about? I said, you know, there were people that was there in my dark time. There was people that wiped my tears away. There was people that soothed my spirit when it was broken. There was people that was with me in my low point. God said, but what you have to understand is some of those people can't handle you at your highest level where I'm going to take you. Now, understand, I'm not saying this is personal to me. I'm just trying to get you somewhere. There's people in your lives that will not be able to handle where God is taking you, your achievements. God said people are okay with you being okay in life. There are people who are okay with you even doing well in life, but people do not want to see you elevate above them. And I said, God, that's true. That's very true. I remember one time back in the early 2000s, I believe it was, I was talking to a coworker. This was a very lucrative year for court reporters. I was working like crazy, y'all. I was taking 2 jobs a day. I was staying in the office to 9, 10 o'clock at night by myself, my scary self, staying in the office to 9, 10 o'clock at night in New York City, getting work done because I would take 2 jobs a day. And I had this mindset that I want my weekends free. I work hard all week. I want to relax with my family on the weekend, and I would stay late. And I have some people that can attest to this. My court reporter friends, they knew that I would stay. And it was a big thing in the office. Like, I remember one time, one of the office managers said, I want you to talk to some of the reporters. I want you to explain to them what you do to get your work on time. You take 2 jobs a day. Some of them don't hand their work in for months. What do you do? I mean, I can't talk about that now because I'm one of those people now because things have changed. But it was just that I had a different mindset at that time. I had some goals that I wanted to meet. But anyway, going back to this coworker who I considered a friend, she came to me and she said, we was talking about some things in the field, and she said, well, how much did you make this year? First of all, you don't ask people that. That's personal. Where's the truth? You don't ask people that. So I told her, and she made a face and was like, and I said, what happened? She said, God, you made a few thousand more than me. So I couldn't understand that. I said, well, wait a minute. Why are you worried about what I make? We have different needs, different wants, different desires. I had a 2-income household with 2 children. You have a 2-income household with no children. So why? Why does that concern you? Why does that bother you? God said, because they don't care if you do okay. They don't care if you do well in life as long as you don't bypass them. And this is what you have to understand about why some people won't support you. So God also spoke into my spirit. And again, I don't want you all to think that I'm making this message about me, but I can talk about this because it's happening right now in my life. God said, this is why people don't support you in the manner that you feel that they don't support you in the way that they should support you. He said, because they're okay with you doing, excuse me, they're okay with you doing YouTube, as long as you don't get nowhere beyond YouTube. People won't support you. I said, well, God, you know, my motto in life is if it doesn't resonate, if it doesn't vibe with you, if you don't like the message, if you can't relate to it, do not give me a thumbs up. He said, but Trinice, you have to understand, people are being spiritually fed from the messages that I give you. He said, people are actually being healed through the messages I send to you. He said, people are actually being delivered. Their mindset is being changed. He said, so it's not because they don't like the message. He said, but they don't like whom is bringing forth the message. People do not care about your growth as long as it doesn't supersede them. He said people are not going to be able to take the glow up, as we say. They're not going to be able to take where I'm about to take you in life. He says there's some people that I had to remove out your circle. He said I had to remove some people out your path because your blessings were being blocked with people in your way. He said, so I had to remove some people from your life. He said, I understood. He said, I know the pain you felt for the people you've done so much for, the investments that you invested in them. He said, I understand. He said, you tried to heal people. He said, you tried to help people. He said, but listen, their help has to come from me. He said you were shackled and bounded to other people's situations. He said you were shackled and you were bounded to other people's ailments. He said you were trying to heal inner wounds and inner childhood trauma. He said you didn't cause that, so it wasn't for you to heal them from. He said they have to come to me. I'm the helper. I'm the healer. I'm the deliverer. I'm the way maker. He said, so you overstayed your welcome in some situations. He said there was a situation that was very personal to you. He said you wouldn't leave the situation, so I had to send somebody for that person to take them away from you. He said because they were blocking your blessings. He said now that your path is clear, you can walk in your gift, and you're walking in your gift. So some of us, we don't understand why we're not getting the support from the people that are closest to us. They won't even like it. They won't follow it. They won't purchase it. They won't share it because they can't handle your growth. They can't handle your growth. This is what God gave me. Now, I'm not bragging or saying anybody's jealous of me or anybody's envious of me. I don't believe that. But this is what God gave me. This is what thus saith the Lord. He said that some people you're going to have to drop off. He said on this path, this journey you're taking, he said some people going to turn their back on you. And I was like, well, who's going to turn their back on me? God, he said, some people that's right by your side, right standing by your side. He said, they're going to turn their back on you when you get to a certain level in life. He said, because they're not going to be able to handle it. So I said, well, God, I'm a very humble person. I'm a giver. I share. I don't plan to leave people behind. He said, but everybody's not meant to go on this journey with you. He said, there's things that you're going to have to do alone. He said, there's going to be moments when it gets really lonely. He said, even some family members. And I started to say, well, God, don't talk about the Jacksons. I'm a Jackson, and I know how we vibe and how we get down, and we are bonded, and nobody could really break that bond, So I know my family's going to support me 100%. He said, there are going to be family members that's not going to support you. So I said again, well, God, I went into that mode again. Well, God, I don't know about that. I'm about to close my ears to that because I already know, God, I already know that my family's going to support me. But then I thought about it, and I said, wait a minute. There are some friends who I consider family. There are co-workers who have become my family. So God said, there are people that's in your circle. You're wondering, why are they not supporting me? Why, God? I'm putting my all into this. I'm not leaving them behind, God. Why do I not get the support? I'm working hard for what I'm trying to achieve so that I can bring them along with me. God said, everybody's not meant to travel this path and this journey with you. Some things you have to do alone with me because you may feel physically alone, but God is there in spirit. He's there. He's guiding you. He's guiding you. So I began to say, there's people that, people not going to want to see you build a house from the ground up. People don't care if you buy a house. They don't care if you have a beautiful house, as long as it ain't better than mine. People don't care if you buy a car, but they're not going to like that you're going to buy a car with no car note. People not going to like that you can be able to get up and travel the world at any given moment. Tomorrow, I work for myself. So if I want to go across country, that's where I'm going. If I want to leave the country, that's where I'm going. People are not going to like that because they have that crab in the barrel mentality. I'm all about helping others. That's my calling here. That's my calling here, is to help others get to the next level in life. That's my calling. That's what God has called me to do. And God said, that's exactly what you're doing. And he said another thing. He said, you keep telling people to walk in their gifts. He said, you're telling people every week, walk in your gifts, utilize your gifts. He said, there are people that have been walking in their gifts for a long time. It's time for them to soar. He said, you know how on a baby, they start crawling, then they start taking steps, then they start walking, then they try to run. God said it's the same thing. He said that you are walking in your gifts. He said, now I want to take you to the next level in life. It's time to soar in your gifts. Like the eagle. You know the eagle. The eagle, when he begins to fly, he flaps his wings. Its wings. And he flaps his wings. And he flaps and he glides a little bit. And he flaps again. Or it flaps again. And it begins to glide. But when it gets to a certain altitude in life, or not in life, in the sky, when it gets to a certain altitude, it begins to soar, and it no longer have to flap its wings. Why? Because it's in its rightful place. It no longer have to work because it's where it's supposed to be, and it begins to soar, and it begins to glide, and it no longer has to flap its wing to ascend because it's at its place. It's at its rightful place. This is the same thing with your gifts. I told this to Facebook and Instagram, that your gift is your birthright. No one can take that from you. You cannot fail in your gift. You cannot fail in your gift. Your gifts cannot fail you. Some of us lack success because we're not walking in our gifts. I told you all, your gifts are your calling. It's what God has given you to make it in life, your gift, so you can share with others, right? So it's the same thing with that eagle. That eagle is at an altitude where it no longer has to use its energy. And this is why I tell you, this is my passion. This is why it's not hard for me, because this is passionate to me. This comes easily. It becomes natural for me. I mean, it is natural for me. And this is why I often say that, I can't talk. I can't talk if God doesn't give me anything. I can't talk about anything. I become stuck and I don't know what to say because it's me talking. But no, when I come on here, it's through God. It's through his word. It's what he's given me. It's what he's given me. So even know this, that even as the eagle, now you ain't completely like the eagle, right? Because the eagle can fly above a storm cloud so it won't get wet. But know that we can't fly above the storm cloud, even when we at that high level that God has brought us. Now understand this, do not stay humble. Stay humble. God can take you to many heights. He could perform miracles in your life right in the presence of your enemy. But stay humble, because the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. So in all that you do, you have to remain humble, grateful, and thankful to God for the gift that he's given you, because you can't do it without him. He's the one. This is why I explain to people. People probably saying, this girl said in the beginning, she ain't religious. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I have a connection to God. This is the gift that he's given me. And this is why he's going to always come out in my messages, guys. And even to the people who don't believe in God, you can still take from this message and apply it to yourself. Because as I said, there's some people who don't believe in God. There's some people who don't believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And that is okay if you don't believe in it. I'm not judgmental. People believe what they believe when they want to believe it, how they want to believe it. And we have to be okay with that, because they have to live with the decisions at the end of the day that they made for their own lives. We do not have to live with the decisions of someone who's an atheist. But even to the atheist, even to the person who believes in the moon and the stars and the sun, we have to accept that. And there are people who just don't believe in anything. But what I even say to you is, if you don't believe in anything else, believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. And this goes back to my message before when I said some people don't believe, some people are not a part of their own healing. If you are not going to be a part of your own healing, your own deliverance, it's not going to happen. And it's the same thing in our life. When we're trying to get from one level to the next, you have to believe in yourself. God already gave you the know-how. He gave you the tools. He already gave you the guidance. The tools are your gifts. The guidance is his word. The know-how is the birthright. Because you have the know-how, because it was given to you at birth. It's a part of who you are. You are your gift. You are your gift. You are a walking gift. That is my message on today. I'm trying my best to bring it down. At least I want to get to 15 minutes if that's at all possible. Sometimes it's not, but I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to keep the retention of my viewers. I know I told you all before that sometimes I'll look at a video and the first thing I do is I check and see how long it is. And I'm like, oh God, that's too long. I can't. I have things to do. But I hope that you all enjoyed the message. I hope that you all know that God has a gift for each and every one. He's given you all a gift. He wants to bless each and every one of us. Do not be in fear of moving forward in life, right? I told you there's people that's living at a level of complacency and mediocrity because they choose to. And because of the mindset hasn't been renewed, they haven't renewed their mind and way of thinking, and it's something they're used to. It's something they've seen all their lives, so that's all they know. Some people only know what they see, and if you don't have the ability to change your mind, you have the ability, but if you don't have the desire and the will to change your outcome, it's going to remain the same. It's gonna remain the same. You know, when we were kids, there were some really smart kids who excelled in everything, A pluses throughout school, and they meet up with some people and they form a crowd, and they become in the in crowd, and now they don't want to seem as smart as they are, and they begin to fail because they want to stay in the in crowd, and they just want to be at that level of where their friends are. Some adults are like that. Some adults are like that. One, because of complacency, and that's what they're used to. And then there's these people that fear achievement because they don't want to lose the people who they hold near and dear to their hearts. They don't want to lose them. They don't want them to look at them differently. They don't want them to think that they think they're better than other people. Now, don't start thinking you're better. If God take you to different heights, don't start thinking you're better, because you're not. Don't start thinking that, because you're not better. One person is not better than the other. It's just the way that we utilize our gifts and our resources. It's about resources. Like even myself. Now I'm not gonna even say anything further than that. I said, be quiet. That's not for anybody else to know but you and I. So that is it for now, guys. I hope you have a blessed week, a wonderful week. Know that every day is a blessing to be here in the land of the living. There's people leaving here every single day. People we know, people we don't know. People are dying every second of the day. I don't even know what tonight holds for me. I don't even know what the next 5 seconds holds for me, the next 10 minutes. But I am grateful for all that God is doing in my life. I'm thankful that he's instilled this gift in me that I can share with you all. That is my purpose here. That is my goal, is to make sure I help somebody somewhere. And, you know, I told God, I said, God, I got to stop saying if I can only help one person. Well, God, that's when that conversation came about. When I said, God, I got to stop saying, even if I only help one person. I said, maybe if I didn't say that, then I would help more people. He said, you're helping a lot of people. He said, but people are not going to clap for you in your face. He said, people can openly say, amen. Thank you for that message, Trinice. Thank you, that helped me through my day. I was going through something, and that message you brought forth helped me through my day. He said, they won't even thank me for sending a message to you and through you for them. He said, because people are who they are, and they're not going to change if they don't allow me to change them. He says, so don't get hung up on no likes or little views or little subscribers. I always tell you, it's not even about you subscribing to my channel. It's not about the likes. It's about helping you. You don't have to like it if you don't want. That's your right. That's your right. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. I don't care how close we are. We could be ace coon booms, or however they say it. Ace boom coons. I don't know how they say it. We could be best friends from the sandbox. You don't have to like anything on account of who I am to you. It's about what you want to do with your life. But as long as I'm able to help you get to another level, or even just get through some storm clouds and some hard times and some obstacles, if I can help you navigate and make it a little bit easier, then that's what I'm going to do. So enjoy the rest of your week, you all. Be blessed. Keep God first. Stay connected to the source. We know who the source is. It's God, the universe, whomever you feel your higher power is. Always stay connected to them, because they will not lead you in the wrong direction, right? All right.